So, hello, Health Coach Sativa here. I want to go ahead and introduce myself and this program. My name is Sativa Albers, and I work at Beautifully Broken Counseling. As you know, you subscribe to this program, and I want to congratulate you as being the first generation of my program here, health coaching over with Kathy's beautiful broken counseling practice. And this has been a journey in the making, and I just want to thank you for choosing me and coming to this program. So let's talk a little bit about me introducing myself to you. I used to work and own a boot camp in Oregon, and the boot camp was called Corvallis Fit Body Boot Camp. And what we did at the boot camp is we used what was called the afterburn method, and that was 30-minute workouts. And we would, use this high intensity interval HIIT training. And this HIIT training would basically activate your metabolism to start to do an afterburn. And so I am a huge fan of the afterburn. And I'm also a huge fan of burst training. And I really think they're pretty much very similar, except for the fact that with HIIT training, you're going to do a very high interval training, and sometimes it can be anywhere from about 20 minutes to about 30 minutes. What I love about burst training is that you can do burst training and you don't have to do it back to back. You could do like 8 minutes, and then after that, you can do another 8 minutes later in the evening. And that is great if you're a stay-at-home mom, because you're like, hey, guess what? I can do, 8 minutes in the morning, 8 minutes at night. And I'm just giving a general number here. Like, it doesn't have to be 8 minutes. You can basically do 12 minutes for the whole entire day, and then you're done. Does that not sound amazing? So I will definitely do more of these videos to talk a little bit more about that. But for now, I'm just going to introduce myself. So again, my name's Sativa Albers. I'm a health coach. I also do some fitness training. I'm actually in the process in the next couple months of becoming a instructor for Refit. And it's called Refit Revolution. There actually is a Refit Revolution what is it? Not like a gym, but they have a program here in Murfreesboro where you can actually go over there and you can work out. Although it's north of me, so it's a little difficult for me to get over there, but we'll see. In the meantime, what I'll probably do is I'll probably become an instructor, and then I will start to add that to my program here, and then that will just be a part of the program. It's not something that I'll probably add as extra. I'll probably just add that into the program. And then I'll record those workouts. And then as the weeks go by, we can just, have this video with you guys, and at the same time, have a workout for the week, and do that as well. So that's in the works. We'll see where that goes the next couple of months. But in the meantime, I can still do workouts with you and do suggestions and things like that. So some of the things that I like to add in my workouts is making sure that you guys have your modifications. And so if you need a modification, let me know. I can add that and do some suggestions as well. A little bit about myself. My journey to health started because my health was a wreck. So I had to go on to that journey of getting things under control. I was having back-to-back panic attacks. I was having hormone imbalance. So if you have gone through that, then you probably understand that it's not fun. It sent me basically on a 10-year journey of relearning about my body and about herbs and foods. And I found that I was ignoring my lactose intolerance, and that was wreaking havoc on my digestive system. And then it also really sent me on to an emergency journey as I came crashing down when it came to just my hormones. And so that landed me into the emergency room, being carried by my husband, and finding out that I needed to have an emergency hysterectomy because I was basically bleeding out. I was at I think an 8 for my hemoglobin and a 7 for a transfusion. So I caught it just in time before the fact that I had to get a blood transfusion. And so I begged the doctors that, please don't give me a blood transfusion. Let me go home and I'll be really good and make sure that I get my iron under control and just enough to where I can get my surgery. And I had a partial hysterectomy. So I understand very much when it comes to hormones and imbalances and things like that. After I had my surgery, I had a hormone imbalance that sent me straight basically into menopause. And because of that, I was having back-to-back panic attacks. Those are not fun. Especially when most people have only had one. And when they have that one, they literally feel like they're dying. Well, try having back-to-back. My life was basically put to a full stop. Having 2 small kids, you can imagine that was not an option. And so I needed as many answers as fast as I possibly could. So this sent me on the journey of learning about panic attacks. What were they? Why did they come on? And everything else that went along with that. So these video series are near and dear to my heart, and I will make sure that I add all those stories and things that I learned to help me overcome that. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't a fast thing. It took a lot of determination. It took a lot of years. It took me narrowing in my diet and also fitness, really adding in that. In a nutshell, they tried to give me some antidepressants. They did not work very well. I don't do well when it comes to medication. I'm usually in the category, if this is the normal dose, then give me less than half of it. And then I'm probably good. And so the antidepressants did not work on me. I had side effects. So then I was afraid to take anything else. And then that took me onto the journey of a naturopath. And the naturopath did absolute wonders. And I could not say enough about naturopaths and basically how they really helped save me in my journey of learning how to cope with panic attacks. So that was, definitely crazy. As I started to learn more about when I was on the journey with the naturopath, we rediscovered, obviously, I had lactose intolerance, so that was wreaking havoc on my gallbladder issues, which was absolutely non-existent at the time as well, because as I found out that I had my hysterectomy issues, I also found out that I had gallstones. So I decided, okay, well then, let's just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I don't recommend that because I had the surgery and I had both removed at the same time. It was a disaster. Most people would say they'd get their gallbladder removed and they have no issues at all. And I had all the issues. Not to mention, most of the time, people that have their uterus removed and they keep their ovaries, they usually don't have hormone issues and they don't get sent into menopause. And I did. So I was that 1% that was like, oh, well, you carry a lot of hormones in your uterus. And so that's where we are. So that's what I'm saying, a 10-year journey of hormones and digestive issues, and then finding out that I am not exactly celiac, but I test high And later in that year, I did find out that my aunt actually is celiac. So it does run in my family. It is something that I have to like tailor in and make sure that like, am I eating too much gluten or do I need to back off and things like that. So I was on a gluten-free diet for about 3 years. So I have some really good recipes if you need that. So yeah. So that is my health journey of what I had to go through and things I had to overcome and learn. One thing that a doctor told me as I was going through my panic attacks, one thing I didn't understand was how panic attacks are associated with depression. And I'm just like, how? I don't feel like I'm depressed. Like, how does that work? I don't understand. And so he said, well, okay, well, since this isn't working with the antidepressants, I'm going to challenge, see if there's another natural way you can do this, and it's a challenge. And I said, well, I'm interested. What's that challenge? And he goes, well, research says that if you do 30 minutes of outdoor activity, such as walking, 30 minutes of walking a day for 30 days, and test to see how that helps you with your serotonin levels. And I was like curious. I was desperate. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I just need something. I need anything at this point. Like, I need my life back. And so I said, okay, challenge accepted. I'm going to try it, because at this point I was ready and willing to try the antidepressants, and that didn't work. So now I was like, I need to try something, anything, and I'm willing to try it. So I took this challenge, and it was not easy, because I literally at this point in my life after the surgery could not leave my bedroom. And I was in my bedroom at times, and I was just so upset because I would have these panic attacks, and then have to pull myself together, because it was like, gotta make food for the kids, gotta keep going, gotta keep, going. And so eventually I was like, okay, let's do this first challenge. It's gonna be walking around the block. And about a quarter way of walking around the block, had a panic attack, had to walk all the way back home, just trying to calm myself down. Eventually I made it around the block. And I was like, wow, like, it's kind of embarrassing, but it was the start. And I did that for the 30 days. And then, I was a full on believer for getting myself outside. And that was the beginning of the healing process. The other part of the healing process for the panic attacks, was the counselor that I had, she helped me with breathing. And so if you suffer with panic attacks, this might help you. What she had me do was breathe in and then make a small little circle and go. And then breathe in. Like that. And I'm telling you, at first I was like, this girl's nuts. And she's like, no. She's like, what it's going to do is it's going to slow down your heart rate. And you're breathing in through your nose. You're breathing, you're not doing this because you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're kind of holding your stomach and making sure you're breathing through your stomach, and you're not trying to like raise your shoulders or anything like that. And I'm telling you, when you're having a panic attack and you start doing that, it really did work. And I was so grateful that I had something, because there was so many gimmicks. They were just like, hey, here's here, buy my book, and you're being panic attack free and all this stuff. And honestly, these two things that matched up plus the nutrition, that's what really helped. It was the breathing technique. It was the talking to myself to like what is it that I'm thinking, what am I feeling? And what I started to realize on the journey was I was being flooded with emotions. the stress of everything like that. And it just sends you on this journey of really finding like what it is that you're thinking and your stress levels and everything else that you can't control. And of course, the spiritual journey as well. And so, yeah, so that was my little nutshell of getting to the point to where I was like, okay, so now I'm on this journey of overcoming panic attacks, and now I'm on this journey of health. Now I'm walking every day, and now I'm enjoying myself, and I'm finally not having panic attacks as I'm walking, and I'm getting out, and on the days that I could. And then Oregon is very much like rainy where we live. And I really wanted to make sure I was still doing those walks. So then I was like, okay, well, now I need some rain gear. I need to make sure I have some good shoes and all these things. And so I was starting to like plan these things out when it comes to purchases. These are things that were like becoming very important to me. And the reason why I say that is because when you start getting into your health journey, you're going to start thinking like, well, I need some good shoes. I need, some good comfortable pants, like, some good leggings. I need some comfortable, a comfortable top, and things like that. So those are some of the things that you're going to want, is something that's very comfortable for you to be able to wear. And of course, sometimes look good. So you're like, hey, I want some cute stuff. And so that's what I did. I was like, some cute shoes and something to help me stay motivated, plus reward myself at the same time. And that's the other thing too, is reward. On this journey is, making sure that you're rewarding yourself with your successes, as small as they might be. Some people might say, hey, so what? You lost a pound. That's a lot. And as soon as I get my little pound thing here again, that shows you a visual picture of what a pound actually is, you will look at a pound totally different, because a pound is a lot. A pound is a lot, even half a pound. So yeah, and a pound of fat and a pound of muscle, I mean, it's eye-opening when you actually see the visual. So that was my journey of overcoming that. And then then it was like the digestive issues. It was like, okay, well, what should I be eating? What shouldn't I be eating? These are things you're going to have to ask yourself is, okay, am I eating foods that I know I'm allergic to or have like food intolerances to? And I probably shouldn't be eating them, or I need to minimize it. So milk was one of them. And I was like, okay, well, I think we need to go and try some alternative plant-based milks. And that was the journey that started the whole thing when it comes to where I was really appreciative for vegans at the time. This was the beginning of almond milk and oat milk and all that. And they didn't have any of that stuff yet other than just the rice milk. Rice milk's not that great. I didn't like the rice milk as much. But I did like the almond milk once that came out. As of today, unsweetened vanilla almond milk is our favorite. That's the staple milk that we use. And the great thing about that, it's also low calorie. It's only like 30 calories for like a cup. So that was great, for using that. So then I started looking at all these, recipes that, a lot of, vegan recipes. And one thing that I do appreciate about vegan recipes is a lot of them don't have dairy in it. And for someone like me, I was just so excited to be able to look into this world of, veganism, even though I'm not vegan, but to be able to get some ideas and inspirations of recipes that don't have dairy in it. And also the Mediterranean diet. I appreciate the Mediterranean diet, because you're bringing in a lot of lower calorie vegetables, and look up a Mediterranean pasta salad, and visually it's just beautiful, which brings me into visual. Your food, if it looks beautiful, you're going to feel really good about it too. And when I say we're going to eat the color of the rainbows, like that should be your motto on your plate. I'm eating the color of the rainbow. What can I do to add color to your food? And this is going to send you on that journey of starting to add collard greens and Swiss chard, and we're going to start bringing spinach and tomatoes and avocado, and we're going to have cucumber and red onions and all these things. And you're just going to really start to love eating, because you're going to be eating things that are very rich in nutrients. And your body is going to thank you, and you're going to thank you, and you're going to be feeling so much better. And that's pretty much what my journey did. It was like, started to feel better and started to feel healthier, learning different things about like bone broth and herbs and how they benefit your body. Obviously, like the ones like we all know, like chicken soup for the soul, chicken soup, like bone broth and things like that. Like why are those, old wives' tales still like good today? Because it's true. Like they used the actual bones of the chicken, and they did bone broth, and they made chicken soup, and there's so many benefits to bone broth, like when it comes to like arthritis and things like that for your joints. So all these things, I really hope that this brings you to just be inspired to think different ways and of your weight loss journey, instead of just, this is just about losing weight. That's how I'm different with this program. It's not about losing weight. This is about being inspired to learn so much more, to be excited to start a new journey on your health. And so, yeah, there we go. That's my program in a nutshell. That's me, my introduction. And I hope to bring each week a new topic. If it's herbs, if it's workouts, if it's just health, making sure that you're getting your yearly health in your checks, and if it's mammograms or whatever, like just making sure that you guys are doing what it is that you need to do. Even dental health. I mean, your dental health is, if you're not really good up on that can cause heart issues. It's like completely crazy, right? So all these things just kind of help inspire you for your health and the journey. And also just to know that you don't have to go crazy, and that this is just give yourself permission to go slow and look at the long-term benefit of this. Like we're going to think long-term, not short-term, not hurry up and lose 10 pounds. Because honestly, most of those diets, you're going to just, studies have proven that if you lose weight that fast, what's going to happen is you're going to gain that back. And sometimes what happens is they gain more back. And you who've out there who already know that this has been your trial and error, you go to lose weight, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, cool, that diet's over. And next thing you know, you're back on the bandwagon, and then all of a sudden you gain like 5 more pounds on top of that. Like that's usually what ends up happening. And we don't want that. We want to be able to go slow and steady. We want to change our thoughts. We want to be able to get something that's sustainable, something that's practical, and something that's not so restrictive. And we want something that you're going to be successful at. Okay, so let's hope that sends you guys on that journey with me. And thank you for choosing me.